gear inside of there that spins one of these rotors. So you see that gear? Well, that gear sits inside of one of these grooves up here. It spins. And if it's not flapping, it's not spinning. Looks good. Let that mix up for a little bit, and then I'm gonna come back and mix up some color for this bumper. So here's what it is. Had quite a bit of damage to it, kind of all over on this side. This guy was hit in a parking lot, and the bumper was pulled off, so quite a bit of damage on this side we took care of. This side, a little bit down low, but nothing over here. So all we're doing is painting where you see the primer marks, and then we're gonna blend the color into the old color, and we'll clear coat the whole thing. So red. I'm gonna go show you the Civic. Got the Civic painted. Partially buffed, so don't judge the buff yet. It's getting there. Dun, dun, dun. Real sweet car. Hopefully the owner is going to be real happy with this. It's got a nice shine to it. But yeah, I still need to buff some of the edges and go over it a final time with the second step. It's a 2-step polish. One pad's blue, the Rupus system. One pad's blue, one pad's yellow. So this has just gone over with the blue. We got to go back over with the yellow, get out some of the little final hazy spots, and then kind of pick up on it. Like right in there, you see some haze. So the yellow, along with the little mini polisher I got, will take care of some of that. So, and I still got to do the bumpers. Bumpers have just been sanded; they need to be buffed. So I think buffing out of this place is a necessity, just because, I mean, we've done our best to try to go ahead and seal this off, but it is not a $20,000 paint booth, so we do get a little bit of dust in here. Now the fan is massive. The fan pulls so much air that I think it's pulling dust from everywhere in the shop. So I talked to an electrician that will hopefully be able to turn down the fan, so that way it doesn't try to pull as much air, and it doesn't disrupt so much air, so that way it won't try to yank all the dust that it can find and drag it across the paint job. So all I need the fan to do is to clear out fumes a little bit. It doesn't need to do anything real excessive. It just needs to keep the fumes, keep a little bit of airflow going through here so the paint cures properly. It doesn't need to try to suck your insides out of your body, which is what it's doing currently. So I think wet sanding and buffing is going to be something we have to do, but happy with it. It's going to be a nice car. It's getting close, real close. So yeah, show you a little process on the 64. Got to keep talking so the radio doesn't pick up too much. Seen that last week. Patch panel welded into this fender. I started working on the quarter panels. All those little spots are holes with the dent puller, which if you watch my last video, you've seen that my dent puller didn't work last week, so I wasn't able to do this last weekend, but I borrowed another dent puller and was able to get most of these dents out. Feeling pretty good. Still gonna do a little hammer and dolly work on them. And then what I'm gonna do is, well, I'm gonna patch in that fender and then go through and adjust these gaps. Like I said, I'm probably gonna have to do a little cutting, moving, welding to get those gaps correct on the door. And then I need to cut out and weld in the new taillight pockets on both sides. And once that real heavy metal work is done, I'll be able to epoxy prime it. So I'll put epoxy primer on here. That way it has a really good corrosion protection on it, and I'll do all the mud work and filler work over the epoxy primer. So that way there's no bare steel. So should get quite a few years out of that. Once it's in epoxy primer, you'll also see some of the real big imperfections in the panel, the waviness. So that'll give me an idea of where I need to focus a lot of my energy on. The whole car is gonna have waves in it just because it's an older car. That's what happens. So putting some epoxy primer on it, we'll be able to see where the damage is at. And I'll probably actually make some templates off of my quarter panel so I can drill the SS holes down here before I epoxy prime it, so that way there's epoxy over that. So that's progress for the week. Got some more stuff lined up coming in next week. Got a bed liner job. Basically the whole truck inside the bed and out is getting bed lined. Have a small like fender bender coming in next week to be nice, but I don't have a really heavily loaded up week next week, which is good. Give me some time to work on the Impala, which is what I need. So let's mix up a little paint. All right, so in order to start this mix, I have to type in the repair order number for the car, click finish, and the computer will send the measurements over to the scale. It's processing. And then you'll see your mix there. So select that, grab a new liner. And the way this scale works is it actually counts down. So it says 56.4 grams. That's the amount I need to pour of this color. Once it gets to 0, then I'm good. 0.2 out of this big behemoth. That's basically nothing. I mean, it was seriously 4 drops. 4 drops of black. See that? That's fun. Yellow, orange. Like 2 drops. 7 grams of that. So after all that stress, I got silver. Yay! That's what I needed, at least. It still wasn't pink. So yeah, that's how you mix paint. It's really not that difficult once you do it a couple times, you get used to it.